I would now like to turn the podium over to our Chief Financial Officer, Angie Pribyl.
Good evening. I would like to take a few moments tonight to review Wright-Hennepin's excellent financial condition for 2010. I will begin with the December 31st, 2010 balance sheet. If you would like to follow along, please refer to the top of page 6 in the program, the top of page 6. Total utility plant assets 2010 ending balance of $142.6 million. Net growth over 2009 of $5.6 million. The majority of this is the upgrade and construction of power lines and related equipment to continue providing the reliable service you have come to expect from Wright-Hennepin. Other property and investments, $35 million. The vast majority of this, $26.7 million, represents our share of Great River Energy patronage allocations, which in turn have been allocated to you in the form of capital credits. Great River Energy has not retired capital credits since 1998 due to building new generation and transmission lines. Other property and investments also includes ownership in our new power supplier, Basin Electric Power Cooperative, plus our lenders, Cooperative Finance Corporation and CoBank. This line also includes the diversified businesses your cooperative owns. Cash and cash equivalents, $16 million. Very strong cash levels. We took advantage of the attractive interest rates and, like many other businesses in the strained economy, took a hold of available cash to assure funding in these uncertain times for our planned construction. Since rates remained low through 2009 into 2010, we actually delayed acquiring the cash from 2009 into 2010. Total current assets, $28 million, which includes the $16 million of cash. Deferred debits, almost $2 million. Total assets, December 31st, 2010, the book value of your business, $169,334,649. Members' equity, $66.5 million. The majority of it is allocated to you, the member. Of the $66.5 million equity, $26 million is equity allocated to you from annual margins from our power suppliers, Great River Energy and Basin Electric. Long-term debt, $81 million, which is Wright-Hennepin's mortgage on the $142.6 million investment in poles, wire, meters, transformers, substations, etc. Long-term debt is $9.3 million greater than 2009 due to borrowing in 2010 to take advantage of historically low interest rates. We are pleased to announce that we have the majority of our debt borrowed long-term at a blended rate of 4.5%, a very favorable interest rate in our industry and another method to keep your monthly electric costs competitive for the long-term future. Current liabilities, $18 million. Total members' equity and liabilities equaling total assets, $169,334,649. Moving on to the 2010 Statement of Operations found in the middle of page 6 in your program, the middle of page 6. Operating revenues, $77.3 million. Revenues and margins rebounded in 2010 compared to 2009. In fact, revenues were strong enough where your board of directors took the opportunity for the first time to defer $1.2 million into 2011 to offset retail rates for you this year. The $1.2 million was made possible from strategies to reduce power supply and local operating costs, as well as from an increased performance of our diversified businesses. The $1.2 million will all be used to keep 2011 rates affordable. Chairman Lanta will have more information on this in his presentation. Cost of wholesale power, Wright-Hennepin's single largest cost, 70% of revenues, $54 million. Local operating expenses, these are the costs to run our local operation here in Rockford and within the service territory. In 2010, these amounted to $10.7 million, actually lower than 2009 and 2008. Fixed charges, $10.1 million, comprised of property taxes, depreciation, and interest. That leaves us with a margin from electric operations of just under $2 million. Conservation Improvement Program costs, $550,000. We are mandated by the state to spend dollars towards conservation improvement programs. Wright-Hennepin's program prior to 2009 was coordinated by our power supplier through wholesale power costs. We reorganized it locally in 2009 to gain more control of the program and the related costs. Non-operating margins, almost $500,000. These margins include interest income as well as profits from the diversified businesses after discretionary allocations were made to offset your cost of power. Net operating and non-operating margins combined amount to $1.9 million. Generation and transmission and other capital credits comprise primarily of Wright-Hennepin's portion of annual patronage capital allocation from Great River Energy, our power supplier, Basin Electric, our new power supplier, as well as our lenders, Cooperative Finance Corporation and CoBank, $1.7 million. These margins are only allocations. There has not been cash received for these profits, but we are required to recognize them on our operating statement, as all cooperatives do. The majority of the $1.7 million has been passed through as an allocation to capital credit accounts in your names, along with prior year's allocations. Net margins, our consolidated bottom line for 2010, $3,630,094. An excellent margin, especially when considering you were provided with competitive rates and the proper investments were made for the future to assure continued high reliability. Per the bylaws, margins from the electric operations will be returned in the manner we always do, in the form of capital credits. In fact, the board plans to retire a portion of these 2010 margins to you at the end of this year during the holiday season, just as they have for the past 11 years during the holiday season. Over $30 million in capital credits have been returned to you since 1957. It has been my pleasure sharing with you the strong financial condition of your cooperative. This is, again, one of the best financial reports that I have had the privilege to present. Even as the economy has struggled, our cooperative maintained its financial strength while still providing reliable and competitively priced electric service.